these other options? And so I pose a question. How has Barron Hill worked tirelessly on these? I will work tirelessly on them. If we have to do something else, that's later on down the road. But you first explore these other options. The bridge has to get built. The bridge's project. That's my sense. We have 174,000 jobs by some measures in the logistics and manufacturing area in this region. They depend on a 21st century logistics infrastructure. And so this project I know is very important to you, to job growth, job security, to income growth, income security, even to retirement security as you put money away. And it's important should your children or grandchildren want to stick around to their future as well. So that's where I'm at. Yes, sir.
I am not really a Census Bureau worker. There is more waste in the government than any of it. Oh, you don't know. And I'm probably, I've been giving my notice in July, I'm out of there. Now, you know, I'm college educated, hard-working American. I mean, will you work for the Census Bureau? Prime example of waste. They give them a budget, and they find ways to spend money. They find ways to spend money. We're working overtime like you wouldn't believe. There's people in there not getting the money.
Not what?
Not hitting the money.
Oh.
Well,
I thought that's what you said. I just want to make sure.
I'm just saying, like you said, that's got to be done, or we're dead.
Well, it's hard for government to economize without some strong leadership. Because in the private sector, we have price signals to discipline us. And if we're not efficient, then the competitor is able to eke us out. They provide more value. In government, you don't have that. You don't have that incentive. So you need effective managers, and ultimately, you need effective legislators who are in there overseeing those managers, and you need an effective executive as well.
This has to start at the top.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll be one of 435 members that will try and squeeze some of that government waste out. Now, Barron Hill says he's been part of this. I know many of you have received this.
Oh, he's
Well, he's a rhino.
I don't know. It says here that he's working to restore fiscal responsibility. And, this mailing was prepared, published, and mailed at taxpayer expense. I don't receive these. Might not surprise some of you, but I thought, you know, Barron, you move back. I'll speak into the camera here and invite you. Barron, you move back. We'll put you on the mail. Here are 5 ways I'm working to get federal spending under control. Number 1, $1 trillion stimulus package. Number 2. Yes, sir. I got a call on the Marine here. Sir, I know.
Pork barrel spending.
Yeah.
How many bills you going to pass me now before we pass it?
Yeah, I am not a fan of pork barrel spending. First, you got to use your earmarks very sparingly. All right. I don't think people are going to quibble with, you know, interstate commerce, trying to get some road projects, some infrastructure improvements. When you're spending $1 million on a water-free urinal initiative, you got mariachi music grants, national peanut festivals. Let me tell you a story. When I was on Capitol Hill, I think it was the it was the defense appropriations bill that was going through the U.S. Senate. And there was a senator that got on the floor and he hemmed and hawed about the fact that there's just not enough money to up-armor our Humvees. Those military vehicles that people over in Iraq were in. It was a very tough fighting going on in Iraq at that time. And a number of my friends were over there. And we just don't have, there's not enough resources out there to up armor our Humvees. You go to war with the army you're given and the equipment you're given. We heard that. I didn't think that was quite right. We ought to find some money to protect our troops. Well, some senator put some kind of add-on to that defense appropriations bill. I kid you not. It proposed to fund live Shakespearean plays in American military installations. So I was like, heck, okay, we don't have up armored MVs, but at least we're going to send them across the sea culture, right? You know, that's just symptomatic of a much larger problem. People are acting like this money generated through our labor, our ingenuity, our entrepreneurship is somehow not our money. It's like monopoly money. The federal million, billion, trillion. And I certainly won't approach it that way. I'll also support fundamental earmark reform. And there are a number of proposals out there to get that done. Congressman Jeff Flake has numerous amendments. He's to be commended for his good work on this issue. Congressman Flake of Arizona, if you want to get on the web and learn more about his proposals, that's great. But yeah, I'll sign on to those reasonable amendments and be very sparing. Now, I am offended about the practice of our sending money to Washington. We send $1, we get back dribs and drabs. We get back 20 cents, all right? And so that's why I will work with others to try and advance those earmark reforms on the fundamental requirements of our district. I'm not going to, I'm not going to jeopardize my constituents while I try and lead reform and they take our money for their own local projects. That doesn't seem right for me either, but I will be a very vocal, strong voice to try and reform the process. I think maybe a timeout on all earmarks makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, that doesn't strike me as a revolutionary proposal, but it's been proposed a number of times. And during election years, I mean, that thing really, it's never supported by members of Congress. And we know why. Baron Hill likes to show up at every ribbon cutting. He showed up at something over in Orange County, I'm told a couple of days ago. Didn't even involve federal spending, but he's there. And then you got those stimulus road signs. Have you seen these things? Yeah, those make me feel good.
I'm Marvin Bostock from Sellersburg time. Timeouts, how about a timeout of the $500 million we send to Pakistan or the $23 million we send to Kenya? My actual question to you is this. We all know that the current occupant of the White House campaigned on no new taxes for anyone making under $200,000. We also know that the Bush tax cuts are set to expire in January, which means new taxes. Your thought on a fair tax or a flat tax, please?
Yeah. Tax reform, that's where you want me to go, and I'm happy to speak to that. Most groups I do, especially being from a small business family. Small businesses are where the jobs are really created in this country. Small businesses become large businesses. That's the real growth in this country. We heard about an ice cream store earlier.